It is time for the absolute bubbliest podcast in the world, Beer Bubble! So guys, I'm sitting here with Steve Grossman again, and Ola, the legend from Wicked Wine, who's been working with you, Steve,
since 2004.
Yeah.
We've got a long working relationship and personal relationship now after all these years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I enjoy coming to Sweden every year for these festivals and catching up with old friends. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have Ola in the podcast. You've been with me a few times now.
I have, correct.
And you were at Akkurat, where I was fortunate to host you yesterday.
I was there last night, and I thank you for hosting. Had a great time meeting people and drinking some great beer. So
that's good.
Appreciate the hospitality, as always.
Well, that's a given, my friend.
They got amazing beers.
Well, we try to...
It's like a library.
He was expanding my portfolio of knowledge here. So trying some local beers, so it was good.
That was fun. You got some Märzen and some fest beers and stuff. So
it was good, yes.
We're at the Öl och Spritfestivalen, the Beer and Spirits Festival here in Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
And
the waterfront.
At Waterfront, Stanley Wong, who's doing this. What do you think of this festival?
I think so far, I've been here just a short time today. It's a great festival. It looks like there's some really good energy among the attendees, and the breweries look very exciting. I'd like to try some of them once I get done with this interview, so I'll go sample.
Well, you've been doing interviews all day. I'm so
Yes,
I felt bad when I came up to your stand up there, and it was like, I know you've been away doing interviews all day. Can you bear with me for one more?
We can bear one more, certainly, no problem.
It's good. He can work very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Ola puts me to work every time I come to Stockholm. I get put to work. So it's
you always threaten that you're gonna retire, and you haven't so far.
I have not retired. I am threatening to retire.
Slow down a little bit, but not.
But when
so
I threaten
much.
to retire, my wife threatens me I shouldn't retire. So I think she probably appreciates some freedom when I go on my trip. So anyway, so I'm probably going to retire in the next year or two. I don't know.
Don't say that.
That's probably what I'll be doing. But I'm waiting for my brother Ken to retire, and he's tried a couple of times, and he's been unsuccessul at it. So
you want to see if it works first,
exactly.
Before you do it. Well, I spoke to Bob Peace the other week, and he's retiring.
Bob is retiring. He gave official notice. Yes, he's retiring.
How's BA going to manage without him? He's been there
30-something years. I think the BA's built up a pretty good infrastructure, and they've got other people, I think, in line behind him that have been there a long time as well. So I don't know if they're going to replace him from within or look outside, but I think the BA will be in good shape.
Okay.
Yes. And I think Bob's leaving in good shape as well. So
I think so too.
He looks happy.
He's good.
He looked to be in a good spot.
He's texts me every once in a while on his various journeys and jaunts around the world. So I think he's enjoying his last few months. I don't know when exactly he's retiring, but his last time with the BA. So
he's doing his final tour.
Yes, he is. I will be meeting up with him in Japan in a few weeks. So we're doing some events in Japan and a beer festival. So
you'll have to send him my best.
I certainly will. Yes.
Sierra Nevada. Most of you guys know what Sierra Nevada is. To me, it's an icon. It's one of the first American micros that I ever tried. And as I told you yesterday, it's also a milestone in Swedish brewing, because loads of the brewers that started about 25 years ago, their first look into what beer could be besides lager was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Yeah. So I must tip my hat. The legacy that you brought to this country is amazing.
It's easy to do a conclusion about that. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale is the best beer in the world.
I'd say it's one of the best beers in the world,
Yeah.
but I drink it happily every time I see it.
But everyone's been trying to copy that.
Mm.
So that's the ground.
Mm.
And even Michel Chamet is always saying, when I'm up and typing on my hotel room, I have a 6-pack of pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also iconically looking. You notice right away what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We sort of ended up with a bottle shape by accident, actually. When we started, we didn't realize that bottles were proprietary. And we had a very limited choice of bottles that were available to us to use.
But you collected used bottles.
So what we did in the beginning
could be
was we used the returnable bar bottles, the long necks. And when we were selling just in Chico, those are the bottles that we used. But when we started branching out to other cities, the Bay Area, San Francisco, etc., we needed bottles that were not returnable. And our options were our stubby bottle that we finally picked or an anchor-shaped bottle. And we certainly didn't want to step on Anchor's toes.
No.
So we picked our bottle, which has become iconic. And actually it was fairly fortuitous in that when our beer was displayed on the shelf, after we were in business a while, we got shelf placements. It stood out with the green label and the short bottle in a sea of tall bottles. So we were actually quite visible. And so I guess it worked in our favor that the bottle that we used was, the only one available. But after all these years, it's the same shape that we use.
Yeah,
so.
and it is an icon. But speaking of not stepping on Anchor's toes, you become friends as well with Fritz.
Fritz certainly was an inspiration to Ken and me, and it was the beer that Anchor Steam and Anchor Porter was the beer that we drank as, I gotta say, even before we were of drinking age, we used to drink. Don't tell anyone.
You were brewing before drinking age.
So that was one of the beers that we.
Wasn't that your grandfather actually who?
No, it was
tired that.
It was our neighbor. Our neighbor
up.
helped us make beer. Yes, our neighbor.
Drinking up his beers.
So Anchor was instrumental in helping, and Fritz certainly, when Ken would have issues, he'd call up Fritz and say, Fritz, how did you handle this? What do you think? So, Fritz had experience buying Anchor in 1965 and had gone through a lot of trials and tribulations, and he certainly was helpful, and Ken became pretty good friends with Fritz over the years.
And our Anchor, the brand is saved at least, but we'll see what's going to happen.
The brand and property has been purchased, and purportedly the gentleman who purchased it said he will have beer in time for the Christmas sale to come out. So I haven't heard any rumblings the last few weeks about what's going on over there, but certainly about 3 months ago, that was the discussion that they were going to have Christmas sale. So we'll see if that comes to fruition.
We hope.
We hope so.
I actually, with my late father, I had about 10 years ago a vertical tasting of 14 different vintages of
our Christmas
the Christmas beer as a treat for him at Christmas because he loved Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the golden moments I have with my father.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to keep you long, and I'm just going to ask Ola. We've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Well, since
at
you
least
started
20
Wicked,
years.
probably before that.
Yeah.
And your relationship with Sierra is something special. I know you guys like each other. You just look at each other. It's like these guys are brothers. It's like
we are.
We've had some good experiences together throughout the years.
Funny moments.
Yes, and we've been, traveling to different places. We've met in different countries over the years.
Italy, U.S. of course,
and in the U.S. Yeah, when they come
Sweden.
to the brewery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure having you both in the podcast.
Yeah, I've been over there, I think 5 or 6 times brewing beer.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
At the camp.
Yeah.
He's a very experienced brewer now at both breweries.
But now Steve Dressler is not there. He is retired now. But we went out and had some whiskey together. He loved the whiskey.
Yes.
And I took care of Brian as well when we moved out. Went out for a restaurant. No, it's a lovely family, and I always feel so welcome when I'm coming over there.
That's awesome.
And they had a Swede who's working behind the bar in the tap room as well.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and she was cool.
Yes, we did.
Guys, we got to finish up.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you a final question. You know it. It's hard.
No, you're going to ask me the same one.
No, it's not going to be the same,
Okay,
I think. I
all
think
right.
that last year we asked you what your desert island beer was.
Yes.
This year it's even worse.
Yes.
Because the Grim Reaper is coming to collect.
No, the Grim Reaper, the Grim Reaper's not coming very soon. Come on.
No. But if he is, you can have one more beer before you go.
Yeah,
What would be the last hurrah?
I'm probably going to say what it was at my desert island, too.
Mhm.
And I know I love Pale Ale. It's one of my all-time favorite beers.
Yeah.
But I have to say, and you might concur with me, the Celebration Ale is what I look forward to every single year.
Yeah, it's magic.
We just brewed it. It will be ready in the next week or two. And
We're
I
looking
look
forward to
forward
getting
to
it
it
in.
every year. And
Don't forget that we have a jug together
Yeah.
with Southern Hemisphere.
yes, we do. So that's what I got to say. I keep coming back to that beer because, one of the first, as they say, West Coast style IPAs, and with freshly picked hops, it just still does it for me after all these years.
And now you brew that earlier in the year as well. So it's coming out here in Sweden.
Yes, we
Earlier
tried.
as well.
We brewed
Not
it early just for
after.
Sweden, just so we can get it here in
Not,
time.
not after Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Before.
actually, since we have our brewery in North Carolina, we can get it here much sooner because the shipping time is
60 days.
it's much
So we
quicker,
get fresher beer.
fresher
which
and
we
faster.
like.
But yes, you do.
Guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the festival.
I'm much looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
I'm just going to go up and have another Sierra Pale, I
Okay,
think.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You must have that. That's
It's
Thanks.
actually in my glass over there right
medicals.
now. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, thank you very much. And
Thank you, Cece.
I hope no one else sticks a microphone in your face this stay you're having now.
Okay.
Like,
I'll tell them to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Cici.
Right.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Now it is time for the absolute bubbliest podcast in the world, Beer Bubble!